Hi all, this is Param. Okay, in this series of videos, we were looking like what are the search parameters or search blocks are there, how they can be used effectively to get search our data, okay, right. So, in these videos we will see these are the options, okay, these are the blocks, okay, within the search API, okay. Um, how to retrieve selected column. If it is RDBMS, people would say like projection, right, column projection, okay. Similarly here, let us say any document have n number of fields, but we want to have only subset of fields, okay. So, that is where this projections comes, okay, selected field, returning selected fields, okay. So, there are 5 options here I have listed here. There are 5 options. So, we will see one options which one when we have to use what and what is a merit and demerits, everything we will see, okay. So, of course, I will show my demo as well, okay, at the end, okay. So, let me finish the explanation, then I will show you the demo in my Postman collections. Okay, first thing is field. Among these there are 5, right. So, the Elasticsearch team recommend prefer try to use field, okay. So, if you are not able to use, then go for source, okay, then go for source, and still, okay, I think I can give this something different values, okay. So, what is now, let me give some kind of little bit color, maybe it's a light, okay, yeah, fine, and maybe it's light, yeah, there is separate meaning, that's why. Okay, so when some things we were not we were not getting like performance efficiency, then we can consider using of doc value field, stored field, script fields, okay. Okay. Okay, so these are the 5 different things we can use in our search API to retrieve only selected fields. Okay, let us start with the field. So, field, why they are recommending, there are several features, okay. Let me open here itself, why. Okay, so what is now, it is standardized, the returning value is standardized. Standardized means what? It matches the mapping, okay, it matches the mapping, accordingly it will returns, okay. Then of course we can have multi fields we can return, not only one field, we can have many fields, put it in the as a say returning field. Format you can specify for date and also, okay, this is specify. And of course runtime fields, okay, runtime fields we can retrieve using the field. To retrieve the runtime field is the only option, okay, no other way. Okay, then return the calculated scripted value also, okay. If you want some calculations on the stored values, then that also you can use using a script, okay. So, these are the different reasons, okay, to prefer or to recommend the fields option to retrieve only selected field from a document, okay. And some of the things are with, so of course, what is the field is respect the mapping, okay. So, while retrieving the value, it matches the mapping values, then accordingly format and return the values. So, in that is also another reason people prefer to use the fields, okay. Here, so these are the specific reasons, right, okay. And using the field, we can go for object notation as well. So, here this is one sample, okay. So, forget this is a query, of course. Here we have used the fields, okay. It has return array. Yeah, as I said, it can accept multiple field. It can be a field name, okay, as well as it can be an object notation. So, okay, in object notation only we can specify the format, like date, something like that, okay. Okay, it support the full wildcard support as well. Format, we can use format for numeric and data columns, okay. So, only these two support the format columns, okay. Then the most of the things are returning as array only, so is shown here, we have 5, right. So, most of the block or say feature returning the match field as a array only, because of because of it is technical technical restrictions. Okay, array there is no type, right? It's in the Elasticsearch array don't have any types. Okay, that's why. So it does not know whether how many fields or what is the data types will be written. So that's why all these returning selected field, it always return as a array. Okay, so here and order is not matters. Okay, I mean it's not guaranteed. There is no order dedicated. What is now I will show you. Say here what is I have first is I declared user ID, then HTTP response, then I declare the timestamp. It may be vary. First timestamp, second response, or second user ID. Okay, the order is not preserved. Okay, so here is one samples. Okay, so we have get it's a field. Okay, it's a field. So within that you can see that user ID is array, form is array, so everything is array. Okay, everything is in arrays. Okay, so of course you can specify the wildcard in the field. So, okay, here you can see yes, wildcard is there. Okay, wildcard supported. So these are the reasons. Okay, and nested values. Okay, nested value also we can retrieve. Okay, nested value also we can retrieve. Here user object, that is nested. Here you can see 3%. Okay, so of course, okay. So if you put star, or if you put the full path, okay, then you will get the response. So here we are getting all the nested object, right? Similarly, you can give the full path user dot first. So in this case also you will get the values. Okay, but you will also get value, but you cannot say only that nested field. Let's say user, first user, right? So you cannot say only user. So that times it will return empty array. Here you can see that. Here. However, that the field patterns target nested user. So directly, okay, that is not if you are specific targeting if you are targeting only user, here, okay. So if you are targeting only user, so it will not return any value. So that is a limitation of the fields. Okay, and retrieving unmapped values. What do you mean by retrieving unmapped values? Okay, I will say. Okay, so yes, we can retrieve unmapped values. Okay, so let's say that means dynamic value, nothing else, dynamic columns or dynamic fields. Okay, nothing else. Okay, so we are ingesting dynamic values or dynamic fields. Okay, here you can say that the mapping enabled false. So completely we are disabling mapping, but still we are pushing some record in the same index. That means it's dynamic data, right? So there is no mapping for them. Okay, still you can use. That is what. That is okay. Okay, disable all the columns, include the unmapped columns. Okay, still you can see the result. Still you can see. So it support the unmapped column as well. Okay, so that is a beauty. That is a beauty of field. So it mapped it returned the mapped value as well as unmapped values. Okay, in fact runtime value as well. So, okay. Okay, then retrieving metadata. Okay, so but it didn't work for me, in fact. Okay, so it didn't work for me. But then one more things, you can retrieve the ignored value also. So what do you mean by ignored value? See how many benefit while going with the field. Okay, already 5 parameters I have shown, then nested. Okay, nested values, then what is that, metadata. Okay, and the unmapped values. Now is the ignored values. I will show you what is that. Okay, so let's say we have specifying one field. Okay, so it accept only 2 values or 1 value. So ignored if it is 2, if it means it will ignore. That means it is not get indexed. Okay, so it is not get indexed. Okay, so if you want to retrieve those values also, you okay, field it will not return, but still you will get in as a ignored field values. Okay, as ignored field values you will get that values. Okay, if you are going for field, but still it support. Okay, and the ignored value by the indexing or mapping. Okay, ignored by value by the mapping, that is stored and returned as a ignored field values. Okay, so these are the several options. Okay, let me repeat. Okay, so it support the ignore field values. Okay, it is support the what it support the metadata. Okay, you can retrieve metadata. I have checked. Okay, you can retrieve metadata by star. Okay, and you can retrieve unmapped values. Okay, so that is not, there is no mapping for them, but still you can retrieve the unmapped values. Okay, then nested object. Okay, you can retrieve the nested object. Okay, and a nested object in the what is it in star or as a full path. Okay, star as a full path, nested values. And then what, always is, yeah, it's a return array. Okay, always a return array. So this is specific. So whatever the columns we, of course it support the more than one field. It support the formatting as in object notations. Okay, so these are the, I think I have explained. So you can retrieve the calculator field. Runtime field also I will show some other samples. Okay, we can format, we can, it accept multiple value. It is standardized way of that match the mapping type. You know, this is what, this is standardized way of matching. That is what field once return the once retrieve the value, it will check with the mapping as well. Okay, it will check with the mapping as well if it is there. But as I said, I mean, field will return unmapped value also, right? Okay, so it but it will return mapped value also. So if it is mapped value means it will check the standardize all the format everything. Okay, so accordingly it will return. So second thing, even Elasticsearch recommend among these 5 you prefer for the fields. If something is not able to achieve, then go for source. What is the reason, we will see. Okay, let me stop this video.